Coming soon. Almost. All right. Okay. I got a few more minutes. I gotta get my panels. Still working. All right. Let's see here. Let's flip this around. There we go. Now, this is it. Oh, whew, I need to wake up, right? Well, good morning. How are you doing today? How are you doing? How are you doing? Let's see here. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Got my 10 panels here. We're good to go. I think that is that, right? That is that. All right. Let's see. Get the light going. Get the lighty poo. Raise this thing up. It's funny. That's what happens when you do live, especially when you don't have multiple cameras and you're not as tech savvy as all these cool live streamers. You know, you're always changing the position. I wish I had maybe that'd be. I need to research this, but there's probably got to be some sort of way to have multiple cameras, and I could just click a button, and just swap to one, right? Or maybe just have a GoPro on me or something. So I am going to set up panel 1 here and panel 2 to work on. And then we got 4 more panels. But what I need to do is I need to grab some paint. It's over here. Let's go get it right now. See. Gonna grab my paint. Layer 1, layer 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is layer 2. I thought about taping them. What's going to happen is I'm going to have 6 layers of paint, or at least I'll have 6 layers of paint until I run out of that color of paint, and then I'll just not use it anymore. I just won't use it. It is what it is. And my coffee is somewhere. I can't work without my coffee. Can't work without the coffee in hand. I haven't had my cup today, so I'm gonna have a few sips before I get going, collect myself. Do you do that? Do you wake up and you have to sit down and have some cups, have some coffee, or have some chai tea or a tea, or warm water or a hot chocolate? You just sip on it, and then you just think about the day. I should be doing that. I should be thinking about the day. I didn't think about the day yet. I think what I'm going to do is after this painting session, I'm going to sit down, think about the day, strategize what I needed to get done. I have to drink this coffee fast or else it gets really cold down here because it's like, why am I wearing a hoodie? Because it's always cold. And I'm painting. I don't want to get paint on me, I guess. I don't know. So there's a lot of things. I gotta make a list of things I gotta do. There's a lot of things kind of occurring right now. If you're interested, I am hosting an art giveaway. I'm really excited to host it and have it ready. It's a lot of things I wasn't used to. I haven't done before, so like just a lot of marketing that trying to get the word out there so people know that I have this art giveaway, because it's a really nice piece and I just don't want to let it go to waste. I don't want to like have one submission, right? And then it's like, well, this person wins. So I'm trying to give it as much publicity as I can. And if you're interested, you can sign up for my art giveaway in the actual link here that I have in the live stream. I think it's mattpearsonart.com/March giveaway. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see here. I'm drawing a blank. I think for these last few, I actually here's something funny. I thought that I had all my paintings done. I thought I had all the first layer on all my paintings were done, and that was not the case. I was like, wait a second here. You still got 6 more to do. You still got 6 more of these bad boys to do. You got 6 more of these to do, and I was not upset about that. I just totally forgot it. It just escaped my mind that I had 6 more of these to do. And that threw me for a loop because I was thinking about the next layer of paint for this before I even got to these. And I know I had this gray paint. That I was going to use. It's like a slightly lighter tint than this gray. And I thought, well, I'm going to use that because I actually used it in a lot of my previous paintings, but it was such a minuscule tone difference that I didn't recognize it. So I'm going to reintroduce it into this batch of 10 here. Which means it's another step, but I'm going to do it in a different way. The previous version was I had my layer of pink, and then I kind of like did a like really brushstroke like movement with the light gray, so you can see a seam between the light gray and the lighter gray. But it was so minute. This time I'm going to actually do shapes. So it's going to be very obvious about the form, or at least more obvious than before. So there's going to be a lot more layers in this. And got a lot of ums here. Oops. I need to move this over here. Wait. Wouldn't it be easier to do this? Maybe? There we go. That's easier. Yeah. I was trying to position it. I was looking behind me, trying to position the panel. I was going to be very picky with my brushes, but yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's the first layer. Oh, gosh. So something that's been going on with me, which has really been quite fascinating, is I've been super energized lately. So much so that it's been very hard to fall asleep. And because I've been so pumped to paint, or pumped to draw because all this extra free time that I have. I've finally experienced what it's kind of like to be an artist, a full-time artist, or at least an artist that works in the morning or in early morning. That I have been having very like a lot of difficulty falling asleep because I go to bed and I'm like, man, I've been up really early and now it's 11 and now I'm just antsy. I'm just super antsy. I'm just like, I gotta just going to go do more things. So I'm super energized, and it's kind of nice doing that, and that's why I'm doing these live streams a little bit more. I can see if it gets in the future, it might be more difficult to do. I don't know what I'm doing now. I think I'll just go with circles again. I don't want to reinvent the wheel literally for this layer. I think though, like maybe the next one I'll do like wavy lines. For some odd reason, I thought I had this idea to do like wavy lines as a like an underlayer, and I was curious to see how that kind of formed out. I definitely don't want to go super clean with the shapes, and I noticed that that's kind of slowing me down on the first layer. And I don't necessarily want to be slowed down in my first layer of painting. I just want to kind of, get the momentum so that when I get to the layer, the later layers or the layers later on in the painting that I'll have really nice line work. I don't know what I was going to say. I'm trying to articulate an abstract idea. Yeah, I don't have anything going on today. I'm just going to paint some circles, and maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't be. I'm not sure. These are a little bit better than yesterday's. I think it's probably because I have a better brush. Or maybe because I shake the paint better. I don't know. But they're better than yesterday, that is for sure. I don't know. I guess I'm not. I don't have anything to talk about with art anymore. I've kind of exhausted my ideas. But I'll tell you what. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this art giveaway. It's the first time I've done it, and it will give me more experience to do better ones in the future. There's a lot of like things happening underneath it that I did not know, like underneath infrastructure, administrative wise, that I need to deal with, and I hope to do it monthly. I thought I could do it weekly. Yeah. I try to not have bad days. Like I try to. I know there's this idea that you got to be inspired to paint, and I get it. I get it a lot, but like this whole notion of being inspired to paint, if I use that as a measure for getting work done, I probably would be less inclined to do it. So what I do is I typically just force myself to paint and draw, and then after a while, I'm like, it's kind of like, well, I'm already here, might as well do more of it, you know. And then when I'm done, I feel a sense of accomplishment. I'm like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. I know it sounds like a little, like very childish type of thing to say, like, oh, I'm really proud of myself. But you know, there's a sense of pride in knowing that you've kind of made something, that you spent some time into it, you know. I think though, because of the immediacy of everything nowadays. You know, like I want to see a movie, done. I want to see a game, I want to play a game, done. I want food delivered to my house, done. That we don't have the patience, as much patience as we used to. So yeah, I keep expanding this circle because I'm messing up. Yep. Don't like what's happening. It was good before, but now it's not. Actually, I lied. It wasn't really good. It was just kind of like there. And I keep correcting it. I'm not going to lie. I am quite tired. I hit the snooze button earlier this morning, and I felt bad. But it has to go with the fact that I've been really, I've been so antsy because of these things that are occurring right now, and because I've been doing a lot more artwork. When I do a lot more artwork, I tend to get more I tend to get more insomniac, or like I tend to get more or have more insomnia. Yeah, I tend to have more insomnia because I have a hard time falling asleep the more I create, which kind of sucks. It really does. It sucks to have that. To get to the point where when you're painting, you just can't shut off. Or when you're drawing, you can't shut off. I was drawing last night. Oops, I flipped that. Oops. Yeah. I don't want to be a night owl. But I was drawing last night, and I was like, man, it is 10:30. I've been up since 5, and I've been doing nothing but moving all day long. And I was like, I should be super tired. I should be so tired. And I was like, but I probably could start another drawing. I didn't want to really spend a lot more than an hour and a half or an hour on this drawing I did. And I did not want to. What did I not? Let's see here. I just didn't want to go to sleep. I was, man, I could stay up for a while. And lo and behold, I probably could have stayed up till almost 12 to 1. But I was like, I got to get up at 5. I got to maintain my schedule, my sleep schedule, But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't like what this is. I'm not even thinking right now. I should be thinking a little bit more with this painting. Again, it's just the underlayer, so I'm not too worried if it looks good or not. I'm not too worried. But I think what I was going to say was I was really excited about. I don't even know. Hopefully, people can hear me, but I was really excited about the this weekend because I'm drinking really disgusting coffee. It's like cheap coffee, and I don't like it, so it's not good. So I can't wait for the weekend so I can pop open my nice coffee. Of course I could do it now, but then it wouldn't feel like a treat. So I got some nice like hazelnut vanilla coffee that I'm going to drink. There is bad coffee. The giveaway, it should be in the information thing in the live stream somewhere. Like it's right below. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know what you would call it, but it's there. But there's bad coffee. There's better coffee. Okay, I'll just say that I got good coffee. I got gooder coffee that I'm going to drink later on. So that's down the pipe. So I'm really excited about that. And you could be like, hey, why aren't you just drinking it now? I was like, well, it's not necessarily, it's just more expensive. I tell you what, the live streaming and painting, I slow down dramatically. I should start talking more though. I really should. I don't really have much to say when I'm painting though. Right now, like yesterday, I had a really good, there is gooder coffee. Yeah. Yesterday I had a really good dialogue with myself. But today I've exhausted it. It might be because I kind of expressed all my points that I'm thinking about with regards to these paintings. Yeah, so I've expressed all that I could say about them. Yeah, so I'm trying to get this circle right, but I'm not really having much luck. This paint is not the best paint. It's like this really old paint, and it kind of stinks. Instant coffee? How does that work? You put that in, does that go in the microwave? Is that like a microwave thing? That's a little bit better right here. I'm stuck, like the thing about the first layer is now that I'm being more precise with it's technically my second layer because the first layer is the gray, the second layer is the pink. I'm thinking in my mind, like I'm having a little conundrum, like there's some tension, friction psychologically right now. And one of the things I'm fighting with is how clean and crisp I want my forms to be on the second layer. Nescafe, yeah. On the second layer, how crisp and clean I want it to be. And I'm like, well, I don't want it to be too crisp, but I also want it to be cleaner than I've done in the past. So I'm kind of dealing with that mentally at the moment. I'm trying to sort out how deep clean I want the paint to be on the second layer. And the reason why is because historically in this series of paintings, I really haven't had clean lines on the second layer. They were always kind of like really scratchy and really they were just there. There was nothing special about them. As a matter of fact, because I did that, I gotta fill this area up. So I'm kind of dealing with that at the moment. And I'm liking from yesterday, I talked about how I kind of artificially made the drips. I'm liking that. So I'm probably going to put that in my, how'd I get that dirty there? Anyways, I'm probably going to put more of that into this next batch. I think what will be a good session for me today is if I speed up a little bit, but I'm apparently not. I'm kind of talking more than I'm painting. I always find it very fascinating the artists that can actually talk and paint at the same time. Because I'm very basic. I can't do like two actions at the same time, which would make me pretty much, in the norm. I was talking like, it'd be like the same thing as if it's like a basketball player or a baseball player in a batting, and they're really focused on hitting that ball, right? They're super focused on hitting that ball. They're not going to be turning their head around and talking to the coach saying, hey, do you think I should swing like this or that? No, they're focused on hitting that ball, and they're not focused on starting a conversation. So it's kind of like the same thing with this, you know? It's very hard to do complex movements and talk to someone at the same time. And if you're able to do that, good for you. I can't. I am not that good at that. I'm going to tell you right now, my conversation, my dialogue's probably going to start slowing down. I'm feeling like I've talked a lot in like 5 minutes. So, as I said from yesterday's, since I've got like the first layer of pink on here, it's kind of drying a little bit. It's getting a little tacky. And because it's getting a little tacky, I'm able to apply more like globules of paint to make it a little bit more opaque in certain areas. Right? You can make it a little bit more opaque in certain areas. And so that's what I'm going for in this one right here. Just add extra globules and to make it a little bit more thick, a little bit more impasto. So that's what I'm doing with this. The one thing that sucks about doing paintings in the morning and then not what sucks about not being a full-time artist is, well, everything really. If I was a full-time artist, I would have like 1,000 paintings a month. No joke. I would pump out 1,000 paintings a month. Or at least 400. I could see if I was doing paintings like this, and I was a full-time artist, I could probably do 400 a month, because I just be for 8 hours every day, 7 days a week, working on these. And since it's acrylic, it dries really quick, so I'd be able to do multiple layers within a day. And if I was working in oil paints, I probably could do 10 to 30 a month. Yeah, I probably could do that. Especially if I was working more of an Alma Prima method. Okay, I'm talking too much. I'm going to fabricate some oops, never mind. I already got some drips on there. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to fabricate some drips here to make it feel like I made a mistake and gravity took a hold. No, I did this on purpose. So I think I'm going to do wavy lines on the next one. I'm going to put some paint here. I might need to grab more coffee, to be honest with you. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just getting the acrylic paint and kind of like blobbing it on here, and so it's going to start dripping down. It's going to look like a mistake. At least I think I'm going to make it look like a mistake, but it's probably not. People are like, you're not fooling anyone, Matt. You did that on purpose. No, man, I definitely didn't mean to do that drip. I was just so busy painting, and I grabbed too much paint in one go, and it just started dripping like that. I didn't mean to do this at all. So I'm going to fabricate some drips here. Oops. Especially on this one. It's just taking a little while. For some odd reason, it doesn't want to go. I can see this one like just pouring down. Oh, great. I got paint everywhere. I hope this one drips. I hope it drips, because otherwise it's gonna be like this really super thick paint spot, and I don't like that. Especially for the first layer. Anyhow, I think that's that for this one. Get up! Get off! All right. So, I'm changing it up a bit because I don't want to do any more circles right now. Hey, you have a good one. I'm changing it up. Oh no. I'm going to tuck in my shirt. I'm afraid I'm going to get paint on my shirt here. I got to tuck in my shirt. So I'm going to change it. No, I'm not going to change it up. I'm going to do circles this time again. But I'm going to do the positive negative space circles again. But I'm going to have a larger area of gray circles and have a lesser area of pink circles, or of pink space. So what I'm going to do for that is we're going to I always like, when I do this stuff, I always like to have something coming off the picture plane on purpose. So I always find it's a really good visual tool to have something interacting with a corner, or have it in a section. I try to avoid having stuff placed in the center. I think putting stuff in the center's a little too easy, unless that's your what you're trying to do. If you're trying to focus having objects placed specifically on the center, I would try and pursue other avenues. Now notice I'm going to activate this corner. Corner activated. Top left corner, activate, initiate corner initiative. Downloading protocols for corner. Gosh, this curve doesn't feel like it's a circle coming off the edge, does it? I don't think I'm going to get it, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And we're going to do another large circle. Coming off the edge here. There we go. That will be that. That's what I'm going to do. So now that I got this area, so I have this large mass, medium mass, and then this nice little play of negative space that I'm going to fill up. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly, I think what I'll do is I'll kind of quickly brush it in so that there's more translucent areas to play with. And I'll play with that for this layer here. And that's what I'm going to do. Just try to be brushy with it. I'm a lazy artist. I don't like to, I do not like switching brushes. But also, I think a lot of artists do the same thing. They don't like to swap brushes. I guess probably because no one wants to wash them. They're such a drag to have to wash. And so I don't want to switch brushes here. I probably should be more mindful. I should be more mindful of the what do you call it? Of the acrylic drying on the brush. So I probably between sessions or between like a circle or between an area, I probably should clean the brush a little bit more. But I think I'm gonna have to do that. I think after I kind of quickly like blot out this area in pink, so I have something to kind of work with, I will do that. But right now, I just gotta, you know. So there's this like, I guess there's this perception that you can paint quickly. Yeah, in theory, you can paint pretty quick. I guess there's like some artists are able to pump out a painting in an hour and a half, 2 hours. But they're like doing like these tricks, you know, and they're all one layer paintings. So the ones that are doing those hour and a half paintings, they're all one layer. There's nothing stacked on top of it, you know. So I don't typically do fast paintings. I probably do faster paintings, or like I paint faster than an average painter maybe. Or I do paintings, more paintings faster than an average painter. I don't know. Maybe I'm deceiving myself. I like to think I could do a fast painting. Okay, so I got my first layer on. What I want to do is I just want to dip this in the water here. I got this jar of water that I drink occasionally. No, I just want to clean my brush. Oh man, I'm getting water on the ground. And nothing works better to wipe up your brushes than used underwear. Used underwear is well, I mean, they're clean, but you cut them up after, you know. They make the greatest rags. And socks. Socks make great rags as well. Or old t-shirts. Those work good too. So that's where I get my rags. I don't buy them. Although I do have some. Okay, I lied. I do buy some. I buy them occasionally. Okay, so now that I got my layer, like first layer of pink paint, I'm just going to kind of like, I guess, scaffold. I don't know what you would call it, but I'm just applying like horizontal and vertical brush strokes that kind of looks like scaffolding or something, or like textured like grids that I just kind of back and forth until I'm done with the kind of second layer of the pink paint. So I'm just kind of scaffolding here. Whatever term you want to, what would you call it? I don't know. It's a horizontal brush stroke and it's a vertical brush stroke. It could be scaffolding. It could be like hatching. And I'm doing this to kind of have an oscillating effect where you have thicker paint and thinner paint all in the same layer. The problem with doing this though is that when you get in the later layers further along in the painting, is that when you want to do precise movements, the brush goes over like what's basically a micro hill, and then it like makes it distorts your line. So you're having to like go over and over again. So that's one of the things, the problems of having extra thick paint and you want to make precise line work. So I'm just going to keep applying this type of horizontal and vertical brush strokes here. Horizontal, vertical brush strokes. I'm running low on coffee. I might need to go upstairs and grab some more coffee. Because it's art fuel. But I am very, very tired. I'm just going to talk about how tired I am because that's all I have to talk about. That's all that's going on in my life. What's going on in your life, Matt? I'm just tired. We'll get some more sleep. I wish I could, bud. I often make I often quote this. It's my quote. I don't. Well, it's not my quote, but it's something I've kind of gathered. When I have like friends or family tell me like, man, I'm just so tired now, man. I'm like, well, it's called being an adult. You know, that's just what happens. That's just what happens. Like, if you want to not be tired anymore, you just don't be an adult and go back in time and become a kid. Because that was the time when you could sleep in, not have a care in the world, But now, when you're an adult, there's so many things you got to do. And I guess if I was a full-time artist, I probably wouldn't be tired because I would just paint all day long and spend time with my family and then go to bed. And when I wake up, I just do it. I'd wake up. There wouldn't be a schedule, I just wake up and go do my regular paintings or something, and I'd probably get 8 hours. I would definitely get 8 hours of sleep if I was a full-time artist and not trying to squeeze my painting outside of the workday. I think that's why I'm always tired. I'm always doing all my painting before or after work. And that's already putting in a full day's work. Now I got to go do a second shift, I got to go put my second shift in for the day. So that's why I'm tired. Before I continue, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to go upstairs, grab the coffee. We're going upstairs. I gotta grab some coffee. Oh, did I hit something? I'm grabbing some coffee. So I gotta go grab some coffee here. Ow. Oops. I was definitely more clumsy with carrying this camera before, but I gotta grab some coffee. What's that say on the fridge? Anyways, gotta grab some coffee. There we go. Gotta collect myself. I gotta collect myself before I go back downstairs. I just want to have like a micro nap while I'm live streaming, Wouldn't that be funny? Okay. Going back downstairs. I'm going to see if I can close the door while I'm holding two things. There we go. We made it. And we're looking at the ceiling. Isn't that cool? Look at my unfinished ceiling. Yes. World tour. You got to see my ceiling. It's one of the best ceilings in the world. Designed by noted architect Frank Gehry. He designed it for me. He was like, Matt, I want to design your ceiling in your basement. And I was like, wow, Frank Gehry, that'd be amazing. Needless to say, I did not think that he would design it exactly like every other basements ever. So you don't know it, but he did design my basement, and that's why it looks like this. I'm kidding. So I'm just going to keep doing this little brush strokey stuff until I get to a level of thickness, a level that I'm happy with, and then I'm going to move on. Yeah, I'm going to move on after that. The thing about this is, yeah, I cannot stress that I'm just having like a case of the yawns and the Z's. Everything's going. So I'm just working to establishing more thicker brush strokes to the painting here. And we'll see what happens. I don't know, man. I don't know. I am definitely slower when I'm painting live. And part of it's because I'm gesticulating when I'm talking. So, yeah. So I'm doing my horizontal strokes and vertical strokes. I want to make sure it looks like opaque enough in certain areas. So I'm just trying to play around with the paint opacity levels essentially, and see what comes from it. I mean, if you look, you can see on the screen, right? You can see there's areas that have denser, that are more opaque, and areas that are a little bit more transparent, where they look kind of like blue or like a light purple because of the transparency. So that's what I'm doing on this. I'm almost done. I think I'm at a good layer. I think I want to move around a little bit more. My ankle hurts. I'm just going to talk about how my body's feeling at the moment. Like, oh, my ankle hurts. It's hurting because I'm standing so much. It's sore. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I've rolled my right ankle like 4 times. Yeah, I've rolled it like 4 times. And who'd have thought that rolling your ankle would, make it unstable? Who'd have thunk it, right? I didn't think that. Okay, wait, a little bit more. I'm going to put, I don't like, it's starting to dry and it's starting to look a little purpley in this larger area. So I'm going to do more, I'm going to do a little bit more scaffolding. Little horizontal, vertical brush strokes, a little bit of that. And I think what I want to do is I want to put a globule of paint here and a globule of paint here so it drips, kind of like on my other painting. So I'm going to do one right here. Put that fake create that fake drip that I like so much right now. And do it over here. There we go. That's a good one. That should be fun. Make sure I have more on this side. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to clean my brush again and let that kind of do its thing. Clean my brush a little bit, and then I'm going to start another panel. So I have 10 panels that I'm working on, or going to be working on. I started, so I got 6 panels done, or the first layer of the 6 panels done. Now I got 4 more to do. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to keep working until 8. Yeah, I think I'm going to do, I'll probably get 1 more panel in. And using my dependable cut underwear to clean my brush. Don't forget to be green and recycle your underwear, folks. Use them for cleaning rags or painting rags. That's what I do. They're great. If you're an auto mechanic, right? If you're an auto mechanic, a house painter, or you just like doing everyday cleaning duties, what you do, get your old underwear, cut them up in squares, and use those items to clean, use that cloth and fabric to clean your surfaces, or brushes, or clean the grease off your tools, or wipe your hands after working on your engine for a while. Stuff like that. Okay. Let's see here. I need to move my head around. I'm tired. Let's see. I am going to put you around the corner. Right here for now. I'll put you on the side because I don't think I'm going to get to a 4th painting. It seems to me I can, with talking and doing this live stream, I can get about 3 panels done for the first layer, but that's going to slow down. I'll probably, on the second layer, I might be able to get 1 to 2 panels done in that same time frame. And since I'm doing more layers on these paintings, I can kind of forecast that I might be doing less and less, like drawing less shapes on the preceding layers so that I don't get too busy. You know, or not. I don't know yet. I'll have to see how that works. So I had this idea, and I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to continue the idea of circles, but instead of circles, they're going to be dripping paint. They're going to be like these, like angular patches. I'm going to see how this turns out. And I don't want to be too like crisp the lines. So I thought about, so this is how my paintings change, is I basically just reconstitute different shapes and put them in different formulations. So if you saw the previous ones, the previous paintings, the iterations of these paintings, I was dealing with circles. So this next one, and probably the preceding ones, is going to be like these. Is it a pentagon, hexagon, like hexagonal? Hexagon is 6 sides, right? I don't know. It's going to be these like 5-sided shapes. So it's going to be these a shape like this. And then maybe I might even drag it, make it a little bit more scratchy. Just for fun. See how that turns out. So I'm just changing the imagery slightly, but still maintaining like the visual, like the voice of the painting or the voice of the series. So since this is a more complex shape, I think this might work to have these these angular like shapes. And I think it's going to be interesting to have these angular shapes in the background, because I think it'll act as a good like counterbalance to all the curvilinear forms to my next painting, to the next layers. So you think with this thing that's going on outside with COVID, I'd actually watch more TV. I have not. I've actually watched less TV this week. Last week, I started watching a lot. I watched a lot more TV. Because I was concerned about my job. And I was concerned about what I needed to get done. But this week, I've kind of like accepted it and just moved on. But I've watched very little TV. So I'm doing these angular shapes on this one just to see what happens. I gotta fill up the area. It's amazing. You think that paint just glides. You think this paint just glides. There you go. It glides a little bit better. If you go slower, it glides. Who'd have thunk it? Just taking my time. What's everyone got to do today? Has everyone had coffee? What's everyone having for breakfast? I'd like to know what are you having for breakfast? That's what I want to know. I love breakfast. But I don't have breakfast that often, so I guess that's the reason why I like breakfast so much, is because I don't pursue eating it or having breakfast, I guess. I guess probably the reason why I like breakfast so much is because you can have basically cake. You know? AKA donuts, you know? So I can't be too mad about how much I've got done today. I'm just hanging in there. And where did I put that painting at? Gosh darn it. I thought I put a painting somewhere and I can't find it. I can't be too mad about today. To have 3 paintings started, or 3 more paintings done, or not done, the first layer of 3 more paintings done. I think that's a pretty good start. So it's looking like I'll be on track to have I'll have the first layer of all my 10 paintings done this week. And I'll probably have started on the second layer of like 6 layers on like the first few. So I think that's a pretty good week. As I said earlier, I probably, if I had it my way, if I was able to paint all day, I could probably do 8 painting. I could do all 10 in one day. But that would be like straight. If I didn't have to do that, if I didn't have other obligations, that's what I'd probably do. But right now I gotta plan I gotta get like examples ready. I gotta make some tutorials. Oh gosh, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. I'm getting a headache just thinking about what I gotta do. I gotta sit down and write it all down. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write all that stuff down, what I need to get done. See what happens. So I gotta start planning my day. Yeah, I gotta start planning my day out a little bit. So I'm gonna sit down and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Gosh, I got so much I gotta do today. What do I have to do? There's something like I'm right there. I'm on the precipice of knowing what needs to be done, but I probably gotta sit down and write it out. So I'm kind of liking these angular shapes. I think it's going to be a nice jump. I think what I'll do is I'll do like the first 2 layers being in more angular shapes, and then see where that takes me. So I don't know how that's going to pan out, but that's probably what I'm going to do. Having more angular shapes and see how it looks. But I'm worried that the angular shapes are gonna bring out the OCD in me, and I'm gonna want them to be more clean. So I'm gonna constantly have to be fighting myself to make them more, like, still maintain them being like people recognizing them as a hard edge shape, but I want them to know that they're looser. So I'm going to be fighting the looseness of these angular shapes here. So that's going to probably be one challenge for myself. For this like batch of paintings, or this iteration of this series of work, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty excited about this, to be honest. And you're going to find that I say the phrase "to be honest." I don't know why. Right now I'm just like this. It's like a positive feedback loop. To be honest with you, blah, 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 blah. And so, I don't know. Maybe I gotta find another phrase to explain things. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know what else to say. Man. I think it's been a pretty good morning. I think if I do this, if I get this painting done or this layer done on this one, I'll be a happy camper. And I'm gonna make these feel more scratchy. And then what I'm going to do is do my trademark drip. Trademark drip. I'm going to do a little drip here and here. Actually, why not? Let's do it on all three and see what happens. See if that's something I want for later paintings. So when you're doing this stuff, when you paint like this in this manner, you want to basically it's every painting of this manner for me is they're all studies. They're all giant experiments. So I'm always tweaking the formula, you know? It's not like Chips Ahoy's cookie or McDonald's, right? Where like, well, we're done with the Big Mac and the cheeseburger. We're not going to change the ingredients at all. We're flatlining. They're the same. Coke's the same. Pepsi's the same, right? No, for me, it's not like, oh, I've got the winning formula. I am going to paint random shapes, add curvilinear forms, and do multiple layers, change the color for each layer, done. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Nope, I'm constantly doing something slightly different. So that like, if you look at the painting, and then you look at the next batch, and then you look at the next batch, they're like cousins. They're like cousins of the painting. So they're similar, but they're not the same. And I think I do this, so I think I'm doing this right now so that it feels more new, and it feels like I'm not just creating an assembly line of paintings where all I'm doing is the same painting, just changing the composition a little bit, changing the color, right? This one I'm mixing more layers. I'm playing around with more precise movements, more abstract movements, more using drips more in some, using less drips in some. I'm going to be testing out different colors in my next ones. So once, as I said before, in the next batch, I'm going to change it up. Like, instead of this series, which is all predominantly grays and pink tones, the next series is going to be there we go. The next series will be every 10 I'm going to do a different color palette. But I'm still going to do the same type of modality, like imagery. They're all going to be these abstract floating like fractal amoeba shapes, but I'm going to do a different palette each time. So like maybe I'll do like a Joker palette, like the Joker is like green and purple. Maybe I'll do something like that. So I have like a variation, like a variety of purples and greens, and then maybe I'll have like some black in there, right? Or maybe I'll do like a bumblebee motif where I have yellows and blacks, or yellows, blacks, and grays. as a palette for the painting. So I'm really excited about that. I think that'll keep me interested enough to keep pursuing this, because when you do about 50 of the same painting, you know, you're like, oh, I gotta do 50. I've already done 50. Oh, well, here goes to 100, right? So I think I'm done for the day, for at least now. I gotta plan out my day. I got a lot to do, but if you've been watching, I really do appreciate you. Thank you. I know it's new that I've been talking. I think it's okay. I can see myself talking less when I do more precise movements, which just kind of sucks. But I'm gonna start talking more. I just don't like talking because, well, it's hard to talk so long. I'm not a radio host. So if you enjoyed this, please follow me. Check out my website. You know. By the way, before I forget, I'm having a March giveaway. So I'm giving away a free art print. All that you need to do is click on the link that I have on this live stream, and then sign up, and bada bing, bada boom, you're in, and I'll be announcing the winner next Wednesday. All right, you have a wonderful day. Stay classy.